How much flavor can you pack into one fried rice dish? Well, you're about to find out, my friends. This is my spiciest, porkiest fried rice. All right, so I've got a couple of tips coming up for how we get the porkiest porky flavor in our fried rice. But first up, let's just deal with a couple of vegetables. So I want some onion here first of all, and I want like a chunky dice here. And now next up, tomatoes. So I know for maybe a few of you, tomato might be a weird fried rice ingredient, but I come from a Thai background and my mum always kind of put tomato in our fried rice and I kind of dig it, like I like it. So, you know, all you haters out there, you can leave the tomato out. But I am gonna put it in because I like it. The secret to using tomatoes in a fried rice though is keep it chunky because the tomato will kind of melt down a little, which is great because tomato has great umami kind of flavor, but you do want to start out kind of chunky. So just like that. And then we're like pretty much good to go. Like I love using mince or ground meat for dinner because I don't have to slice it or chop it, which means way less mess. And you guys know that I hate mess and doing dishes. So that's why I like to use it. Let's get going in the wok. Now here comes my little tip for getting the best out of your ground meat. So you guys might have seen my hoisin beef noodles, which also included this tip. That one is, we like literally eat that one once a week in my household. But anyway, back to this recipe, it's the same idea. I want you to get this pan, your pan or your wok, super, super hot. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of oil. And then I want you to go in with your pork. It's gonna get loud. And now here's the thing, so spread it out in the pan, get the maximum amount of like surface area that's coming into contact with that hot oil and the hot pan. And then you need to leave it, like don't touch it. What I wanna do is get like a really good, hard, crusty sear on the bottom of that ground meat, almost like you're doing like a hamburger, because it's that kind of yummy, savory, crusty kind of stuff that's going to give us an even porkier flavor than we would have otherwise. Okay, so it's been at least a couple of minutes here, guys, and you can see under here that we're getting some really great color here. The time is going to depend on how hot you can get your frying pan or your wok at home. So, but what you're looking for is that beautiful deep dark color. So now I'm going to break up my pork. And see lots of that great color there. Perfect. Now we're going to go in with some garlic. Give that a good toss. And now go in with your onion. All right, so whenever you're stir frying at home, you want to give your ingredients a little bit of time after you add them in because it's kind of not like that situation that you see in your feed, like where the Chinese chef is like, you know, doing everything really quickly and there's this huge flame and there's fire and, you know, I mean, we just don't have that kind of heat at home. So you want to kind of make sure that each ingredient gets time to get whatever heat that it can get from like a domestic, you know, stovetop. So, you know, don't believe everything you watch in your newsfeed. Okay, so we've got nice color in our pork. Our garlic is smelling lovely. Our onion is nice and soft. So now I'm going to go in with the spicy. I'm going to go with our little friend here. This is some garlic chili paste. You can just buy it in jars from, you know, the Asian section of the supermarket, a Chinese version, or you could use the Indonesian sambal olik as well. That's totally cool. Just something spicy. Throw that in. You could use Korean gochujang as well. That would be good. Ooh, look at that color. Nice. All right, now go in with your tomatoes. Just toss those tomatoes around a little, and now I'm going to go in with the rice. So let's talk about rice for a minute. I have some rice here. This is day-old rice, so made it yesterday. It's been sitting in the fridge so it gets nice and dry, because what you don't want is to start off with gluggy rice because you're going to get it in there and it's going to get even more sticky and gluggy. Now, if you're not organized and you don't have rice from yesterday, that's totally cool. Just make up a batch of rice but use a little less water than you normally would, just so your rice is a little drier than it usually would be. Now for our seasoning, some soy sauce. This is like an optional because it'll give us a really nice color, but not totally necessary for flavor. So I've got some dark soy sauce here. This is like a dark sweet soy sauce. And then here's like a little like Asian mum kind of tip for fried rice. My mum always put in a sprinkle of sugar, just a little dash. Kind of helps everything caramelize and get that kind of smoky, like caramelized flavor and smell. I think it works. I love it. But you know, I gotta do what my mum says, otherwise I'm gonna be in trouble. All right, so just give everything a toss through. And now you can see, I mean, that rice is beautiful. It's not sticking together. It's just lovely. All the grains are beautifully separate. And man, it is smelling really good. Okay, toss it around until every single rice grain has some of that sauce love. Now, another little secret weapon I love for fried rice is just a little dash of white pepper. Kind of gives it like it's less harsh than a black pepper, but it still gives you that kind of like pep, if you know what I mean. All right, now, final thing is I want some spring onion. And now that, my friends, is looking pretty amazing. See how that tomato is just kind of like melted into that fried rice, but you're still getting a few little chunks of it here and there? That's just perfect. All right, I need to get this out onto a plate. There is one more thing we need to add though. Just wait a minute. Now, in my household, I think in most good Asian households, you need a fried egg on top. Fried egg, non-negotiable. That's what I think anyway. That is a fried egg. If you want to know how to make a crispy Asian style fried egg, I have a video for that on my channel, on my website, so check that out. But there you go, guys. That's it. That's my spiciest, porkiest fried rice, and I need to get in here. This rice is calling my name. This egg is calling my name. I mean, oh, look at that. The egg yolk, the egg, the rice, everything is just looking very delicious. I mean, you just can't beat it. You know, the chili, the pork, really perfectly fried rice. I mean, that is just a thing of beauty. That's just so comforting. Oh my God. So good. Oh, fried rice gets me every time. Yum. If you've got any comments or questions, pop them below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button plus the little bell one, and that way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. Thanks, guys.